Welcome to Dance Mogul Magazine. Thank you for taking the time with us, Mr. David Sincere. Can you please introduce yourself and let us know where you're from?
Yo, I'm David Sincere from South Jamaica, Queens, born and raised. You know what I'm saying? Bi-coastal, you know I'm always in LA a lot, Miami, Atlanta, but New York is my home all day.
Okay, and tell us how you got involved in the arts of dance.
So when it comes to dance, I ain't gonna front. When I first started dancing, I was horrible. I didn't know how to dance at all. You know what I'm saying? So growing up, my mom had me like doing acting and singing and stuff. And I played the role of Jay-Z at age 8. And after that, like I got a little buzz because, you know, I was little Jay-Z. But you have to have more talent, you know what I'm saying? Like growing up as a kid, you see people, they dancing to certain songs and everything, and I just was like, I was stiff. I was real stiff, so I wanted to learn how to dance. I had some friends around the hood. Yo, can you teach me these moves here and there? And yeah. From there, I joined the dance studio, and then I just went ham, becoming a dancer, and it just took over my life. And then now I'm a choreographer.
Okay, so it sounds to me that you had a support system behind you. You know, with your mom. Was that it? Did the community support you? Did your family support you at an early age in terms of pursuing dance that way?
Yeah, absolutely. Like growing up in Jamaica, Queens, it's like it's the hood. You know what I mean? It's the hood. So at the time, boys, it wasn't big for boys to dance. So my mom had me in everything. She had me in football, basketball, voice class, everything. I was in everything but dance, you know what I'm saying? So even when I was asked to dance, I was just so quick to shun it because it wasn't like a masculine thing in the hood. It was like, if you dance, you're gay or it's feminine, or so I just was like, I was trying to shun away from it. But then I seen it in a different light when I seen girls dancing like men. They was dancing like Michael Jackson, and that's what really had me like, yo, I want to join the school. And then once I joined the dance studio, I was the only boy in that dance studio. And they just really like held me up and lifted me up as like their brother and taught me how to dance. They really did.
Understood. Now take me into your training regimen. Like, did you learn all styles? Was there anything in particular that gravitated to you, or did you just learn everything while you were training?
So when I was training, when I joined this dance studio, actually, they had everything but hip hop. They had jazz, modern, tap, ballet, African, everything but hip hop. So I trained in everything, but I just was into hip hop. I was just that child of hip hop. I did the Jay-Z video. I always listened to hip hop music, TLC, Criss Cross, Biggie, Jay-Z. Like I listened to hip hop music, so I always would take those dance moves and those skills and put it to hip hop music. So that's how I kind of just was like blended my style of hip hop and started really doing hip hop. So I took the jazz and the African dance and all that and put it to hip hop music and had my form of hip hop dance. But then when I was learning other people's styles, that's when I was like, oh, hip hop is really about this technique to hip hop. It's not only just choreography and blended styles, it's actually a technique on how to pop, how to lock. It's not called pop and lock. Those are two different things. A lot of people don't know that. People think that it's called pop and lock. But it's one thing to pop and it's another thing to lock. So then like learning things like that and the terminology, I really dug in it real deep. And then I went to school for it. I went to college for it. I was in high school for it. And I was like really just learning the elements of dance in every style, really.
Okay. Once you got so immersed in it, did you know in high school and college that that's what you were going to do for the rest of your life?
In high school and college, yeah, I was gassed. I wanted to dance. I wanted to be a choreographer because I started a dance company in high school called Queen's Finest, and we was hot. We was hot in school. We won the competitions and everything, and we was hot. So I just knew I was gonna be that choreographer. So straight out of high school, we started doing the Apollo. We did 106 in Park. We traveled to Florida, met Debbie Allen, and did a whole concert at her dance studio. Like we did so much, so I just knew I was gonna be a choreographer. Until I started to really realize it's a lot of work. You know what I mean? You got to be a dancer first. Because I was from high school, I was just straight going into choreography because I had my group. But then it was like, you're not gonna just straight get artists now. You got to get in the industry and people got to really know you. So that's when I started auditioning for things in New York City. So when I started auditioning as a dancer, it's like I was going backwards because I was the choreographer. But then it was like, now I want to get in my foot in so people can know me in the industry. So I auditioned for agencies. You know it's hard to audition for an agency. I don't know why is it so hard, because the gigs is not even as hard as the agencies. So I auditioned for Clear Talent. I made it. And I auditioned for Block right after. You know that was trouble. You're not supposed to have two agencies. I ended up booking them both. So I was signed to Clear Talent and Block. But I was like, I ain't saying nothing to nobody. I'm just gonna wait till they send me auditions, and I'm gonna just go to the auditions. Whoever sends me on an audition, I'm gonna give them the job and tell them, like, that's what I'm gonna do. So here goes Wayne Brady. He has an audition in New York for 6 dancers. And Clear Talent sent me. Block didn't send me. Clear Talent sent me. So I went. I ended up booking the job, made it all the way to the end. It was like a 2-3 day audition. I made it all the way to the end, and they had to move us to Vegas. So now the agencies are calling me on the phone, Block and Clear. They're like, yo, we see you on the list for Clear. We see you on the list for Block. What's going on? So I'm like, well, I did sign to both of you guys, but Clear sent me on this audition, so I'm going to clearly give the job to Clear. I hate saying names, but Block, Fatima, she was pissed. She cursed me out, hung up the phone, dropped me from Block, of course, because I probably shouldn't have done that. But why did she send me to the audition? That's what's going on with, like, agencies. You never know why they don't send you. But I was perfect for the part because I got it, but she didn't send me. Clear sent me, so I gave it to Clear. So now I'm working in Vegas. I moved to Vegas, and the thing about it is that now my money from the job had to go all the way to New York through Clear to come back to Vegas to me to get in my account for me to get money. Like 3 weeks passed by, all the dancers that was signed to Clear, we ain't get no bread. Starving out there in Vegas. So Wayne Brady started giving us money out of his pocket to feed us because our agencies wasn't paying us. So we ended up dropping the agency. So that was my story. I don't know other people's stories, but that was my story with having an agency as a dancer coming up in this game. You know what I mean? So after that, I dropped my agency, getting all my money to myself now from the Wayne Brady job, saved my bread, moved to LA, and at this point I'm auditioning for things, I'm booking them. I auditioned for MTV Made, got that job. I had like a 2-part episode, which was dope. So moving into LA, I already had a little buzz. People already knew me because I was on TV from doing MTV Made. So now I have to find an agency because of course I want to work out there. You know, dancers don't want to tell you the auditions in LA. You know what I'm saying? So a friend introduced me to Rodney Chester from Trio Talent Agency. He was actually an actor on Noah's Ark as well. So he was like, "Oh, you out here new and you talented, you was on this and that, whatever, and you ain't got no agent. I'll work with you." Worked with me. I was booking in LA. I was booking, which was fine. You know what I'm saying? I'm dancing behind people from Shaka Khan, Smokey Robinson, to Keisha Cole and Ashanti. I'm dancing with all these artists. But it came down to like when I was on tour, I believe it was probably Keisha Cole, and I realized this being a dancer isn't for me. I felt like I was working too hard, not getting paid enough, and it just always like a reality check for me right there. It was a reality check, you know what I'm saying? And then I felt like I just was doing the most, and even the artist doesn't even give as much as the dancers, and the dancers get yelled at and they're treated like kids, and you gotta stay in the dressing room. It's just certain things that just wasn't, I just didn't see myself in that, because I told you I started as a choreographer at first. So it was like for me to be put down in this situation where I'm feeling like I'm in high school again, I knew being a dancer and on tour wasn't for me. And I knew that when I work with artists and go on tour as a choreographer, I wasn't gonna treat my dancers that way, because it made me change, it made me not want to be a dancer. So now to this day, as I choreograph with different artists, we have so much fun. It's a different energy, you know what I'm saying? It's a way different energy, because I know how it felt to be a dancer, feeling like you are lower than the choreographer, the lowest thing on the job. You know what I'm saying? So I try not to make my people feel like that. I try to make us feel equal, and we all try to get this money together, and we working hard. Because just as I'm the choreographer right now, tomorrow somebody else could be the choreographer. It's all about the skill and training you put in.
How did you survive the pandemic as a dancer, choreographer, artist?
Well, I feel like the pandemic wasn't really too bad for me as a choreographer and an artist. It shouldn't have been for many artists because I feel like that was a time when you could be home and create. You know what I'm saying? And the biggest way to show your work nowadays is social media. You know what I'm saying? So my time home, I was creating. I was making music. I was doing Zoom classes. I taught classes in Africa. I taught classes all around New York City. I also was out. I was out performing too. I know they were saying it was COVID, don't be out, but you know a lot of stuff went on with like the Black Lives Matter movement and George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. So I was at a lot of events performing music and with my dancers dancing at the painting, the Black Lives mural, painting mural reveals, and yeah, a lot of stuff like that. So during the pandemic, I was actually really working the whole time. I was working.
Okay. So fast forward to the now. Moving forward, how do you feel dancers should come back to the table? Because it also was a sit down to say, kind of like I think everybody was able to have that kind of aha moment you had. Not to say that dance wasn't for them, but I think the way that dance is being given might not be the way that it should be, whether it be from Hollywood, the industry, any type of commercial type of dancing. It's not being done right. Social media, it's not being done in a way that elevates the dancers and choreographers and artistic directors. It's not being done that way. It's being done in a way where everybody is eating and we're last on the totem pole. So moving forward, how do you think dancers should re-engage society and these different levels as far as industry and stuff like that? How should we re-engage with them and also with each other to be better moving forward?
I absolutely think that dancers are so talented and we could do more. We could definitely do more. We could do more than dance. We're creators, we're actors, you know? So I feel like as a dancer, myself and to other dancers, I feel like we should get pens and papers out and start writing. Start writing what you want to do, start writing what you want and start making it happen. You know what I'm saying? And beyond just being a dancer, create the scene, create the set. You know what I mean? We could do more. We can be the Tyler Perry. You know what I mean? We could be just like choreographing a dance is the same thing as arranging a song for music. So I just like encourage dancers to dabble in more because dance fits in with so much, even marketing and commercials. So even with your dancing and your choreography, you can even create a commercial. Start creating an advertisement commercial for a company and then probably mail it to them and then maybe you have a commercial now that you're choreographing for. So it's just like, think more, think bigger. Think more than just dancing behind an artist or doing a show. You know what I'm saying? There's so many avenues we can go down with dance. Like, and I feel like TikTok is even helping you see that because you see the people like that are non-dancers, they'll go in there and do one of our dance moves. They'll lay on the floor and do like a jump, and then their clothes will change into mad different clothing. That's a Old Navy ad, Gap ad right there. But for a dancer, you gotta really do that jump, and you might add something extra with that jump and the twist, and musically be on it. You know? So it's just like, just open your mind up, dancers, and let's engage this world as a black business. How they saying all these new black businesses coming? Let's engage it like that. Let's go for it like that. Like, you are a business. A dancer is a business. You know what I'm saying? Your mind, your thoughts, your creativity is worth money.
Is there any advice, aside from what you just gave, to the next generation of dancers that are coming up that you feel that would be helpful? Like, you've lived the life, so it's not that they gotta do what you say, but you went down a couple dead ends. So you can kind of tell them, oh, you might not want to go that way. You might want to go that way. So what advice do you have for the next generation of dancers that are dreaming to be successful?
Well, definitely advice is fight for yourself. I've been through situations where I would work with certain artists and not get paid for a job or not get paid for a rehearsal or something, and I wouldn't fight for it. I would just be quiet because I felt like if I said something, I wouldn't get a job with the next artist, or I wouldn't work with them again. I didn't know my self-worth. So I just want people to know, like, know your self-worth. Now, that job is not that important. You know what I'm saying? There's so many more jobs. There's so many more artists. There's so many more genres. That one artist and that one job is not going to kill you if you do not do that job ever again in your life. Know your self-worth. You're worth more than that one artist and that one job. So that's what I want to tell the younger dancers coming up. And another thing, a lot of people, I keep saying this, I know I keep saying it, a lot of people are taking the easy way out because they have TikTok. So all the non-dancers are trying to dance. So the ones that are dancers are half-stepping it because you could do an easy TikTok dance and probably get popping or get some numbers up or whatever the case may be. Or we have like music videos where girls can't dance so they're twerking. Or like even artists I would work with would be like, I can't dance but I can twerk. And it's just like, that's the easy way out. When I'm in rehearsal, if you're an artist in a rehearsal with me, we are going from the scratch. I'm making you do push-ups, we doing jumping jacks, and then I'm teaching you how to actually dance. You know what I'm saying? We have to take it back to the studios and train again. Train in different genres. Even if you want to be a hip-hop dancer, you still got to have some technique because there's some choreographers that are hip-hop choreographers that will be like plie. And if you don't know what a plie is, you're really lost. Because I know I use that terminology. I say pirouette, I say passe, piqué. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of different terminology you should learn. So I'm going to tell the newer generation coming up, go back to the books and learn. You know what I'm saying? Don't just be a YouTube dancer or a class dancer. You know what I'm saying? Be a research dancer. Do your research.
Alright, I like that, research dancer. Is there anyone you would like to thank for helping you along your journey thus far?
I absolutely would love to thank, you see, and it's so sad because you would think that I could think a whole bunch of choreographers on my journey, but I can't even think a whole bunch of choreographers because choreographers weren't the ones who looked out for me coming up. You know what I'm saying? I would say dancers that supported me in my career and in my journey, that was in my pieces and in my dances and in my work to show the world what I got. I would definitely thank them. I would thank the artists that I work with that believed in me from an audition or from like working with them personally, because most of the auditions that I did book, it was the actual artist that picked me and the choreographer just had to deal with it. So I just want to thank the people that supported me. You know what I'm saying? And the choreographers that had to deal with me. Thank you. I just thank you. And I just want more, and I'm just going for more. So I just encourage everybody to don't even focus on all of that. Just go for yours. Ain't no one gonna help you but yourself.
Understood. And how can the people keep up with you?
Yo, I'm on all platforms, all social media platforms. You can find me on the Instagram, the Snapchat, Facebook, Google. If you Google me, I'm a verified artist on there. IBMD, DMD, you know that's what that is. That all my work is on there. I'm on there. Yeah, I'm up there. I'm everywhere. So just follow me, David Sincere Aiken. I'm around.
Well, thank you, Mr. David Sincere. We appreciate your time and we appreciate you supporting Dance Mogul.
Yeah, thank you for having me.